Hello, hello. It has been a bit. How are you feeling? How are you doing? Just wanting to come on here because I am very divinely guided to discuss this. I've been wanting and wishing to discuss this. My G baby has not felt so good, so doing what we can. With the way I've been feeling, I've been having a mass amount of pressure in my third eye. So much is happening, shifting, changing, and so much again with my heart is just like aching, and it's going to continue to ache as these expansions and energy flows keep coming in. If you're aware of the Schumann resonance, everything that Mama Gaia is experiencing, we're experiencing it too in our own fashion, form, all these things. If you know, you know. If you don't, research. Just research it. Tap in. You could tap into yourself. You can also tap into Google and all these other things. So there's that part, okay? On top of the physical ailments going on, there's so much happening as far as the breaking down, right? The triggers that are coming and going and flowing. This morning, I was so triggered by my eldest daughter, it was not even funny. And the word boundaries and triggers are both like, it's almost like they're like, oh, we're talking about triggers. Oh, we're talking about boundaries. Oh, whoa, whoa, what is she gonna say? What is she gonna say? Da, da, da. Like our brains just literally like have this whole entire thing going already, in a sense of basically trying to figure out what is coming up right for you. And it also puts this frame of mind in, which I'm going to dive way deeper into another video, but I would like this one to be placed upon, I guess it's going to have to be two things. So it's going to be based upon two things. One, clarity in boundaries. Maybe we'll do this in a two-part. Okay, so this first part is going to be regarding boundaries. And then the second part is going to be you get what you deserve. So beginning with boundaries. So boundaries, if you're not aware, according to Google, boundaries is a line that divides an area. So you have said area A over here, said area B over here, and those are boundary. It's a line that divides, okay? If you think of this in an energetic sense for your soul, because this is what I'm speaking upon, your soul, okay? You have your auric field, your aura, your auric field, okay? And that's basically your energetic grid. In said energetic grid, it's you. You're inside your energetic grid, okay? And your energetic grid literally holds you, all of you. Holds your physicality, holds your spirituality, mind, body, soul, everything inside. How you define your line, okay, your line from said A to said B, you can be A, outside being B, is the boundaries that you decide to keep. And that is like the common sense of protecting your own boundaries from outside. I'm wanting to dive even deeper and speak on boundaries that you have within self. So this changes up all of the lines. Having the releases coming in already. So where the line is drawn within self is completely up to you. It's your choice where A stops, B begins, all of these things. But it is it's an awareness of even having self boundaries within yourself, for yourself, and to yourself. Two, it has to do with the amount of truth you're willing to face within yourself. This is and can be a lot for some. At the same time, right now, in our present now, time, space, reality dimensions, is so deeply needed. And if you're not aware, that's why you're brought here, so you can become aware. Having self boundaries within your own personal self it's like a literal game changer, and it amplifies and begins, if you don't have any, it begins your relationship with trust, with self trust, which then amplifies literally everything. When you have trust within yourself, knowing the words that you speak are true, are secure, it amplifies the safety within, which again then trickles out and ripples out, amplification with everything as well. When you have safety within, in trusting yourself, your words, you are protected. It improves your confidence level. The list goes on and on and on. When you begin, or we'll kind of backtrack here, more than likely in childhood, you basically broke trust within self, your own self boundaries, as you were beginning to develop them as a child. Leasing for the collective. Like, literally. Okay. Where to begin? There's so many places and spaces. But basically, when you were learning to develop these boundaries within self, learning to dance with your own self-trust, they were broken. They were broken. And you were taught, you were programmed to be silent, not to speak your truth, not to be heard, that it was unsafe for you to speak your truth, unsafe for you to have boundaries with others, possibly, and even let alone yourself. So it's literally a deconditioning, a breakdown of programs that do not serve, to be able to reprogram and flip the switch. I strongly and highly encourage you can do a journaling, automatic writing if you feel called, but journal and ask yourself these few prompt questions. One, in being, what are my boundaries? Or do I have boundaries with self? And if you are kind of coming up to, you don't know where to begin, start just placing just what are your boundaries in general essence, speaking of the whole, so of others. What are some of your boundaries? But to dive deeper into this, really speaking of your own truth, what is one of my boundaries? And these are basically non-negotiable things that you do with yourself, for yourself. Your necessities, not even quotes, just point blank period. Your necessities on what you need to do and get to do, you get to do for you to function. What are they? Start making a list of what they are. And if you're not aware, you could be learning today. Like, your soul has literally brought you here for reason and for purpose. Otherwise, you would not be resonant in these frequencies at all. And just a couple examples of what a non-negotiable or a boundary could be is for myself providing, and these are also things that you have control over, because yeah, it can get sticky and like all technical when you're going over boundaries, because you have boundaries with others and then you have boundaries with self. We're focusing on boundaries with self presently. So a boundary that I have with myself is in the morning when I first get up, I do not check any of my messages. I do not check any emails, no medias, nothing like that until after I've done my rituals in the morning, which is my stretching, my principles, my whatever I am implementing as far as creation. You could call it manifestation, but just I call it creation at this point, whatever I'm deeming into my future present moments. Another boundary that I have for myself is also in the morning. I brush my teeth, I do my oral routine before I eat anything. And I pretty much fast up until that time for whenever that is, because a lot of times I'm up in the evening because that's when I get a lot of remembrance, the downloads, whatever you choose to call. And it's also something that I'm figuring out a new routine for this for myself. I'm figuring out a new routine so then I can have the, just like another word, but it's basically like the best sleep, like the most nourishing sleep. There's still another word I'm trying to think of. I can't even think of it right now, but basically that's what it means to have the best sleep. All that being said, these are just examples of non-negotiables that I have with myself. And also something I get to do is hold myself accountable for these things. And I do that in grace because every day is a new day. There are always different things happening, especially with children's afoot and animals and all these different entities and energies around, and doing the best that I can do for myself. And when I fall short of these boundaries that I've placed for myself, I am able to allow myself grace and compassion and say, you know what, it's okay. We can do better. We're aware of how this made us feel. And now we know, we like 150% know this is one of our boundaries. If this gets crossed, we are not okay. This interferes with my functionality. It's basically those types of things. Boundaries, how I view them for myself, are anything that, if crossed, interferes with my functionality of self. That being with my physical self, my mental self, or my spiritual self. All of those parts of me, aspects of me together. Because if they are not in alignment and resonant with where I choose to be, then I feel off. My performance is off. And I say performance in more so just functionality. Like I feel like I'm unable to function at bringing my best self forward, to be able to have my cup fully be full, to be able to help service others, to be able to help others grow and blossom and bloom and whatever they may need or not need. If I am not taking care of myself, maintaining my boundaries, allowing my cup to maintain being full, then I have nothing truly to give to another, is basically what this comes down to. And I absolutely love that this has circled back around to your cup being full or not, because yeah, it's like every time I do a video, I'm also speaking to myself, right? my awareness of self and what I feel I need a reminder of, and then also can be valuable to another, because we are all in this together. You are not alone. You are never alone, including myself. I'm never alone. Even if I want to be sometimes, I can be away from like other physical entities, but the energetic entities are still going to be there. And another point that I would love to bring awareness and attention to is, even though there are certain self boundaries that I have, that you may have, that do differentiate your cup being full, it can be in terms of form of perception, and also, especially with others, boundaries. And this is going to lean into perfectionism, which is another video. Like there's so many things. There's been a lot going on. Yeah, so it's like everything's trying to come out at one time. Like, it's okay, y'all. Be patient, angels. It's okay. We're going to get it out. We're going to get it out there. Okay, so boundaries with, basically with the perfectionism and boundaries, it can be almost like a mask in a way, because in wanting to control everything. And I, for one, definitely can fall under a category of OCD and perfectionism and all these things, as it was programmed and taught to me from myself when I was a child, as a form of a coping mechanism and also safety, like my literal physical safety. Now that I am an adult, I do not need to be continuing on doing these things. And this is bouncing off another video that I did on perfectionism. And then also we are going to do a deeper dive into it as well. But these mini bits here in the moments. When a boundary is crossed and a trigger comes up, for me, I love to look at it as, and I have the awareness now, and basically when I learned this, and ever since then moving forward a few years ago, every time a trigger surfaces, it's showing and like shining a spotlight on room for soul and spiritual growth. It is beaming light upon an aspect of self, more than likely a shadow aspect of self, that you may have neglected, or it basically is neglected, but just chose to not have seen that aspect of yourself, or completely be unaware, because there are so many different layers of, I'm going to be calling them safety blankets, because it's literally what they are. They are programmed safety blankets that we have accumulated from childhood on, from whatever said trauma has happened to us, and we've worn them for so long, we literally may have forgotten that they even exist. And do you know what is under all of these safety blankets? The absolute, true, divine you. True you is hiding deep underneath all of your blankets. And layer by layer, the more you begin to dive deeper within, you will see and understand you don't need to have them any longer. Yes, they may have had purpose. Clearly, your somatic body thought so. Otherwise, you wouldn't have them at all. These programs, these safety blankets, they served you well during different times and points of your life. And the more you go in, the more you will understand you can implement these boundaries with safety, all while removing a blanket in the same and beginning to basically initiate a relationship with trust with yourself, truly embedding all of the safety that you would ever need. Everything that you seek outside of you is only found within. And again, a whole another video. But all that you're seeking is within. You hold the keys to your awareness. You hold the keys to your greatness. You hold the keys to your own self-trust. You hold the keys to your true safety and security. You hold the keys to your abundance. You hold the keys to your worthiness. You hold the keys to every possible creation, manifestation that you desire. All stems from within. When a trigger occurs, when a boundary is crossed, dive within. Allow yourself to take a step back from your perception and say, okay, this is how I'm reacting. Where is the why? And 9 times out of 10, when we're triggered, it instantly is drawing us into a feeling of unsafety. That something is going to come and hurt us or take from us or any of these things. It's coming from a place of possible abandonment, a lack of trust. Pretty much everything the opposite that a boundary stands for, a form of protection. When these triggers come up, ask yourself why. What is the deeper meaning? Dive deeper within. Your body knows. You know. The question is, are you ready to dive deep? These programs, these safety blankets, they served you well during different times and points of your life. And the more you go in, the more you will understand you can implement these boundaries with safety, all while removing a blanket in the same and beginning to basically initiate a relationship with trust with yourself, truly embedding all of the safety that you would ever need. Everything that you seek outside of you is only found within. And again, a whole another video. But all that you're seeking is within. You hold the keys to your awareness. You hold the keys to your greatness. You hold the keys to your own self-trust. You hold the keys to your true safety and security. You hold the keys to your abundance. You hold the keys to your worthiness. You hold the keys to every possible creation, manifestation that you desire. All stems from within. When a trigger occurs, when a boundary is crossed, dive within. Allow yourself to take a step back from your perception and say, okay, this is how I'm reacting. Where is the why? And 9 times out of 10, when we're triggered, it instantly is drawing us into a feeling of unsafety, that something is going to come and hurt us or take from us, or any of these things. It's coming from a place of possible abandonment, a lack of trust, pretty much everything the opposite that a boundary stands for, a form of protection. When these triggers come up, ask yourself why. What is the deeper meaning? Dive deeper within. Your body knows. You know. The question is, are you ready to dive deep? The lines are so fine, and it's all what you choose to define as where they lay. That is within self as well as towards others. You get to choose what you know to be true to your mind, body, soul, heart, spirit, all of the things. You know what allows you to be safe, to feel secure, to feel respected, to be respected, to be safe, to function properly, and also coming into terms and awareness of when you are using boundaries as a form of basically like a wall or a shield in a way against yourself. If they are boundaries and creating a wall versus diving deeper within to amplify your respect for yourself, to amplify your cup being full, to amplify you to bring the best version of you. If they are other than that, I highly recommend you do a double take on those and do the deep dive. Because my dear, my darling, my love, I tell you, it is so worth it. It is so worth it. You are worth it. And with every awareness and with mixed within the contrast, the triggers, all of the not good feelings, the amazing feelings that get to grow and expand within your heart space, rippling out into your reality of your creation, they're phenomenal. They're phenomenal, they are beautiful, and they are essences of the true you, of whom you are here to be. Unapologetically you. The best version of you that you can be. To acquire that self-trust, your full authenticity, your full self-love, having your cup be full to the brim, to be able to then help others along their own awareness journeys. It's truly beautiful and magical. Definitely longer than I anticipated, but I feel complete at this time. I'm being guided to take a pause, and this is part 1 We'll see how many parts is coming. I feel maybe 3, but this is part 1. And I'll probably do a video and just blend them all together in the future. But presently, oh no. I love you so very much. Thank you so much for being here with me along my journey. I love being here with you along yours, helping you in any way possible, in learning from my own experiences and being able to share them with y'all is truly a blessing and a gift, and I greatly appreciate all of it. The contrast, the triggers, the happiness, the joy, all of the things is truly magical. Let me know in the comments below how this resonated for you. Let me know one of your boundaries that you have for yourself. And let me know something if you feel called, not putting anyone on blast for sure. Let me know one of your triggers. I'll say a trigger for me is when I am unable to do a part of my morning ritual, because then I feel like I am failing myself, not being able to bring my best self forward, and therefore it makes me feel like I'm failing others, which I definitely don't like doing. Let me know if you feel called, and I'm super hyped to see y'all in the next one. Much love.